Hello. Hi, and welcome to the House of Chair Girls live show. Look at that. I have my mic in my hand because I wore this. I'm trying to figure out where to place my mic. Hi there. If you have joined me, kindly, just going to put my mic very unprofessionally, but that's my best bet for today. Hi, hi. If you have joined me, kindly send me a heart so I know you're there. Welcome to the House of Chair Girls live show. Hi and happy Sunday. Hi, I do see that. Hi, thank you so much, Mama, for joining. So today we actually have a special guest. We have a featuring guest, and he will be joining me in a few minutes. And again, it's one of those things I spoke about or we shared with you people when we started the show that on some days we'll be having featuring guests who will come and share their thoughts, share their ideas on whichever topic we're talking about. So today's topic is about timeline, how society places timelines on us. And I have a ton to share on that topic. So does my guest today. So he will be joining me shortly. I do hope that you're all doing great. Please send me some hearts if you have joined. I see at the moment I have two people watching. Kindly pump me some hearts so I can know that you love to have me here. So again, we'll be talking about some of those timelines that society has placed on us as individuals and how are we maneuvering that? How much do we let that influence the decisions we make? How much do we let that timeline that we let society place on us impact our everyday life, right? So let's see how that goes. So I'm just trying to add the banner. What else? Let me know where you're watching me from if you have joined. And thank you again for spending the time with me. Oh, let me quickly go and share this on my personal page while we wait for a guest. And hey, feel free to share with me what you think and any ideas, anything going on, kindly share with me. I'm all yours. Okay. Where is the show so I can share? Hi again and happy Sunday. How are you preparing for Christmas? So, hey, thank you for joining. I am trying to find the shows so that I can share it on my personal page, but doesn't seem to be refreshing. But hey, if you're watching, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much, and greetings to Aberdeen, to my people. That's our big compound. Greetings to the big compound in Aberdeen. Thank you. So again, today I've tried to share with no success. I'll just let it be. Probably just gonna be on the podcast page and not on my personal page today. I'm not able to find it. So again, today we're talking about timelines. And when we talk of timeline, what comes to your mind? When we talk of timelines, in this case, I'm looking at it from the perspective of, you know how they will say, hey, you need to be able to do this by this age, you need to be able to achieve this, you want to be able to do just different things, right, in life. But oh yeah, great. I found the show so I can share it now. Awesome. Okay, great. I was able to share it. So that's what I want for us to talk about today. Like, what are the different timelines that you realize that society puts on you? What are the different aspects of life where you see that, hey, maybe you're not there yet, but you feel pressured by society? And when I talk of society here, I'm referring to both society in general, our community, and I'm also referring to family, friends, like everybody, everyone around you, right? What are some of those things that you feel pressure to do? Or what are some of those things that, if at a certain point you have not gotten to, you tend to feel like, oh, I'm a failure, right? So before our guest joins, I'd like to talk a little bit about success. And the reason I talk about success, this again has to do with the whole idea of how society pushes us to feel like, hey, we have failed because at a certain age, or after a certain number of years, we've not been able to do something. And I like to use this example of success where I've, I say that success is very relative. So, what success means to me will not be the same to another person. So, you can have two people growing up and maybe just friends, and one person is very satisfied with where they are. One person is very satisfied that, hey, by the time I complete college, by the time I'm able to get a job, so one person completing college alone is quite successful. We all know growing up in a community like Cameroon how that was celebrated, how people got to college and for their families celebrated them. Oh, I see our guest is here. I'm going to go ahead and pull him up. This is a special friend of mine. Um, he is on the House of Chair Girls live show. That is because he's a House of Chair in-law and a special guest. So let's welcome King Konge to the you. Oh God, did I just say you can be anything podcast? No, to the House of Chair Girls live show. Thank you so much, King, for accepting my invitation, and you're welcome.
Um, Thank you so much, Cecil Babes. As I usually call you, you know that.
I don't think I can hear you. If you can hear King, please let put in the comments for me, please.
Can you hear me?
Watching and you can hear King. Please put it in the comments for me. Oh, Ice, you can. How come I cannot? All right, King. Kindly go ahead and please tell us a little bit about. Just tell us about King first, right? While I get my sound sorted out. Just
Okay.
please. Sorry, I have to put you on the spot like that. Let me arrange my sound.
I just wish to thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be on your platform today. I would like to use this opportunity to introduce myself. I'm Charles K. Bobo. I'm an in-law to Solange Chair. Uh, I think she informed me like promptly just this morning that she wants this platform. So before I talk today, my words will pass through three gates before it public. And those three gates are: is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary for me to talk so as to educate or contribute to society? So thank you very much for the opportunity. In due course to the broadcast, I think we are going to talk a lot. I think I'm having a problem like hearing you. but
Oh, can you
I
hear me
know.
now?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Yes, so I think we'll have a fruitful discussion. Let's try to educate and also contribute our own to the society. Thank you.
Thank you so much, King. Again, I missed the introduction. I always like to hear him talk about himself. I say I'm going to rewatch this in order to hear what he said because I lost sound.
No,
Thank,
I did not say anything extra about myself today, but in due course I'll say that.
thank you so much. We're happy to have you here today. We appreciate you so much, King. And so today, as I said at the beginning of the show, we want to talk about timelines, right? We want to look at timelines from different perspectives. You're looking at how society, how our loved ones, family, and friends, how they put a timeline on us, and are we the kind of people that we let that timeline actually determine how fast we want to go in life, or do you hold back and say, hey, you know what, if you think that this is what is important now, it is not what is important to me. So again, we're just going to talk about this, share our perspective, share our ideas, share our stories, again, because that is what this is all about, right? So King, in a general sense of it, right, what do you have to say about certain timelines on people in general? Like, what is your thoughts about that in general? It could be in any aspect of life, be it job, marriage, buying a home, having kids, any whatever you choose to talk about.
You know, society is like complex. I always like starting from what would that reflects my life.
Mhm.
Okay, since I was a child, everything around me that I've gone through are certain, like the society is setting a milestone
Yeah.
at a certain age. So I have had like mom, I've had everybody has had mom, had that dad, had that brother, had that sister, had that friend telling them to get married.
Yep. It's time to get.
It is time to get married.
Yeah.
And there are some of your friends around you that will tell you your biological clock is ticking out. Yes,
You can say that again.
yes. So with me, I always take my example with me. No matter what people say around, my time is always my time. And I would like everyone to have that perspective at the back of their mind because there are certain decisions that you take that will affect your life in the future. Those people pushing you to get married, they will not be there when you have marital issues. They will not be there when you want to take care of your kids. They will not be there to support you when your child is sick,
Yeah.
when you are ready to do what it needs. Going to get a job is a necessity, but let it come at the right time. And I
Mm.
think society has put a lot of people into wrong decisions, into wrongdoings. As a kid, as I was growing, I had so many people around me. They were so concerned about me. I think 2 years back, I always like quoting myself. 2 years back,
Yeah. Hmm.
2 years back, oh, like yeah, 2 years and a half, I was like taking a decision to to settle down. I think I took the right decision to step back because it was already affecting my mental health and my surrounding. And I always like to put that consideration before making my decision. And please, I would like to advise anyone if you are getting something that you already see the signs and the symptoms of failure, there is no issue of backing out. Back out and let the right perspective or the right things put in place. I always like advising people. My own is that I'm just trying to society. Yes, because I'll just draw you back. Like the other day, I like reading on social media and like looking, I like comments on social media. Like the other day, there's this social media platform that posted an advert for Scrum Master and said, if you want six figure, uh, uh, if you want to have a six figure job,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw that it was a Scrum Master. I know what I have people around me that have had those jobs with a six figure.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to the comment. I like going to the comment section.
Comment section.
Yes. So I went to the comment section. I was reading the comment. Before I continue, I am from Cameroon. I love Cameroon. It was it was a Cameroonian platform that
Mm-hmm.
that post was.
Yeah.
So in the comments, I read the minds of Africans, the mind of somebody. Some people came and said, if it's a 60 job, why posting it? Why nurturing your family? Why nurturing who are related to? So the perspective of life, the perspective of life in us African, we need to change that mentality. We need to believe you are one of that 100 that can have that six figure. Get the certification, get those things, and you have a positive life. Please let me give you back the mic, but I'm already yes, I'll be coming back.
Definitely, King. That's definitely one of the reasons I wanted to ask you that, because I know you are someone with an open mind, and you don't mind sharing your thoughts and your perspectives on things. And so, if we circle back a little bit before we started talking about the Scrum job, you talked about the possibility of, like, hey, years ago, like about 2 years ago, when you had to retract your steps because you felt like you were making a decision in your life that what you were not ready for. And again,
Yeah,
you went ahead and you gave advice like, hey, if you feel like something is not working, even no matter how far you have gone, if you see the signs that this thing is not going to work, it is okay for you to withdraw, right?
yeah, yeah.
What you just said, that what you said is true. But one other thing is, this is where that societal pressure comes again, right? That timeline that the society has put on us comes in. There are a ton of people who find themselves in that kind of situation, and because they're like, hey, man, you're already 35. Hey, the man, again, I'm sure I'm one of those people that have teased you and said your time for marriage don't reach. Of course, I know that I know that I'm one of those people. You've said that to me too, and actually gone out trying to hook me up. But again, we are all saying those things. And the truth is, when we get into our quiet moments, the way do we let those thoughts control us? How does it come back to you? And when I look at it from what you just said, some people will see the signs, right? Some people will see the signs. Again, just because you brought the example of marriage first, that's why I'm talking about it, but we'll talk about other aspects. When we look at the marriage, some people will see the signs and say that, hey, this marriage will not work. They know that, hey, I don't think I want to spend the rest of my life with this person, right? But because society has said, hey, man, you're already, for me, for a man, they're telling you that, hey, you're already 35, you need for marriage, or you're a woman, they're telling you that, hey, after 30, if you've not settled yet, you're in trouble, and things like that. People see all of those signs. Some people see those signs, but because they do not want to be to be tagged as the unmarried people or as the single person, they would rather be a Mrs. Somebody and suffer the consequences instead of being tagged as a single person.
Yeah,
So
so
that.
before
Mhm,
yeah, before you continue, let me just add this point
mhm,
to you. Yes. I think we need to focus on those things that makes us happy.
mhm,
And through that happiness, we can uncover what your perspective is like.
mhm. But the
Yes.
happiness is the thing. Like again, it's truly, right? Sometimes when I talk about happiness, like I was talking about in one of the shows, the Thanksgiving show, I said something like, hey, when I'm grateful, when I show gratitude, I feel some kind of internal peace, some kind of internal happiness. One thing that I've also realized is, what is this happy we're talking about, right? What is happy to you, King? What is happy to Solange? You get it?
Yeah.
Some people are really not able to find that happy place. Some people would rather, maybe they feel that happiness is being hand in glove with maybe a man that spanks you at home, or being hand in glove with a woman that disrespects you. Some people, it's happiness to them is what the society thinks. It's about what they show on social media. It's about the likes and the hearts that they get on their beautiful picture that they have posted on social media, right? I'll bet you that there are a ton of people today who still cannot, adults, who still cannot determine what that internal happiness is, what really makes them happy, because they are so engraved with pleasing the society. Because if the society is happy with them, that is good enough for them, right? So that your point of happiness, sometimes I feel like it's a little bit too broad. Not everybody knows what it means to be happy, truth be told.
I think for me, happiness is your comfort. Happiness, in a sense, in this sense,
Mhm.
just take for instance, you have your 3 square meal a day.
Mhm.
Take for instance, you live a happy life, debt free. Do do what pleases you, not what the society wants you to do.
Once of,
That is happiness. Having peace with yourself, that is happiness. And also, there are certain decisions that when you take, you're happy with yourself. I'll go to me like a person. The decision I took never to take alcohol makes me feel happy. I am proud to say it anywhere that I have never tested alcohol. Is because that is the sacrifice I gave to God, and I am happy with that. I don't have any issue with anybody drinking alcohol. I like seeing people. I have bought alcohol to people, but I like that. That makes me happy. I always
yep.
do everything with a conscious mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that is to you, that is happy. Again, to me, you know that one of my happy moments is when I'm drinking something on the rocks, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna chew my rocks, I'm gonna drink my liquor. That is my
And
happy moment. So
and
we
our
see
happy
that relativity. Yes.
and our happy moment also is when we are dancing.
That one is a chair tembo. That is a chair. That is a tembo chair. House of chair and house of tembo reality.
Yeah.
The dance floor. That is our magic. That is true.
Yeah.
But again, so you see, it is this whole idea of, again, we have spoken about marriage, and I guess if you have any other thing, if you're listening to us and you have any inputs, please add it to the comment section. And I see more people watching, and I only see 3 hearts. Please, can you pump me some hearts? Look at So Babes. Now I'm sitting here with King Konge. Come on, pump us some hearts now. These are this.
Let me share an experience with you. You just call me King Kong, right?
Uh-huh.
And most of my posts, which I post, you, Ice, Charlene, uh, all the people who knew me back in Korea, they will come and say, "Hey, King, you made a point." And I have people that go to the comment section and look at my comment section and look those who say King, right?
Mm.
They'll see beautiful girls and they'll come back to me and they'll say, "Why are you not married? Look at those beautiful girls calling
Calling
you
you
king." They
King.
don't they, they don't know there are people close to my heart. There are people around me. Yes. So like if somebody don't have an open mind about that, they'll see that as an issue. I don't mind the on social media. I take things on social like society like and
Yeah.
I try to change those negative aspects to positive. And that is
Mm.
why I always like putting myself as positive minded child. Yes, I always like to be positive. And anytime anything negative happens around me, I try to sit back and think. Even if I lost a job, which I've never done. I've always created. I always just think, what lesson have I learned from this?
The
What are
child.
the corrections which I need to do? What next step do I need to take? I don't take a failure as a disappointment. I take it as a blessing. Let your failures not be a disappointment to you. There is a better way ahead for you. That is what God is telling.
Yeah. Yep, that is true. Thank you for sharing that, King. And again, we have just spoken about the whole marriage timeline. You have experienced it. I have experienced it. I don't even want to talk about my own experiences about it because I think I've actually mentioned that on this show quite some times. And recently, I put a picture of my. Yesterday, I put a picture of my brother and his wife on my
Oh, yes,
status,
please.
and I
I
was like,
wanted
"Oh
to
my god."
I wanted to comment. I just said no, let me not comment.
I said it, I put it on my status. I was like, hey, this girl is single and searching. If this is what love is like, then I am ready. Hey, all the single men, you can come and start chatting this girl up, right? And again, that's just me. I say my things as they come to my mind. And you don't want to shock the number of people who came saying things like, oh, you don't finally agree, so you be single. Oh, whose leg are you pulling? But again, that is one thing that on my side, I really don't put a lot of pressure on myself. Yes, family, where we come from culturally, we again, our loved ones, our parents, they want us to get married, they want us to have children, they want us to do all of those things. But the truth is that um, it is your mindset where you are. Is that where if to me, I one thing that I always come out to say is that marriage is a beautiful thing. I definitely love to get married one day, but nobody's gonna push me into it, right? It's going to come when it is the right time and when it is
Yeah,
the right person.
yeah.
And because again, I've had somebody say something to me like, "Hey, this thing would make macho girl, like macho girl is like a girl that makes like a man, right? I think something like that. So when you make macho girl, you're not going to, no man is ever going to go to be with you. And my response to that is, if somebody thinks that I'm a macho girl, then I need a macho man as well. I don't want a weakling, right?
Mm.
If you think that I'm a strong woman, then I definitely need a strong man by my side as well.
Yeah. There is,
So
yeah, there is a comment I'll make about that. I think in the society, everybody has his or her own way of
ma-
looking at things.
yeah, so
Yeah, so I'll always accept those criticisms and just move forward. I always like telling everybody, let's just ignore all the dramas that we see around us, the hate and the pain that we have felt,
yeah,
and find justice, peace, and happiness within us. Let's forget about us.
yeah. Yeah, that's true. And again, if we look at it on the other side, another thing that a lot of people feel pressured with on the timeline side that society puts on them is kids, right? Having kids. Hey, they'll tell you, hey, you're this age already. Hey, you're never born. Hey, they want to be born. And the one thing, again, I found myself in a situation some years ago where I actually sat down and I gave God thanks. I was like, whoa, I am grateful that I have a child because I came across someone who treated me like, some people just believe that because they are married and they have kids, anybody that is either single and doesn't have a child is less of a person or less of a woman. And I found myself in a situation that I actually sat down and I said, oh God, if I did not have a child, this woman would have rubbished me completely. You get it? And
Yeah,
why are things like that happening? Because society has put a timeline on people. They say, hey, you are this age, you never born Peking, hey, all those things that come. And sometimes they don't even take into consideration what might be going on in somebody's life. They don't even, somebody just comes to you, see a woman or even a man, because most of the times we put this on women, forgetting that there are also men out there who struggle with having kids. It's not just a woman's problem, right? And we'll see instances where, again, I've heard ladies share their stories about somebody who can say, man, you're born now, when I don't marry, picking the cam. And you don't even know, those are those questions that you ask people. And you don't even know what they are going through. You don't know for how long they've been trying, right? And I find that question very intruding. And I know that within family or within close friends, we've had to joke about things like that. But when you go out and you see someone that you barely even know, you meet an old classmate and they don't even know your story. They don't know what you're going through. They don't know your medical history because apparently people think that people who cannot have children must have done something bad, like get away no fit born, get away don't come, maybe they commit abortion, right? That
Yeah,
is,
there,
it's crazy.
yeah, there's something which
Yes, and
I'll
listen,
contribute. Yeah,
Wills and
I'll
Colon just say it. And sometimes people don't even want kids at all. There are people
contribute.
out here who don't want to have kids.
Yeah, there is something I'll say about that. I've once had that experience. Somebody asked me, you don't know till you go old when you get kids. Yes, I always laugh about that. I don't always take that serious. You are just airing out your mind. I'm happy. I'm happy people say that to me. But I took a decision. The decision which I took, I'll say it public, is that I will not have a child outside. My child will grow with me at home. I will live with my child. I will eat Gary. I'll eat everything with my child and with my wife. Let's fight it at home. Do everything at home. I don't have an issue. Anybody can say whatever they will
Yeah.
say.
And that is what
Yeah,
is important to you, right? To
yes,
you,
yes.
that is what works. You get
So
it?
yes,
Mhm.
I have like a principle. I have like the three C's of life. I have the choice. I have the chance. I have the change. Right? I have to make my choice in
Mhm.
order to take a chance for myself
Mhm.
and to make a change to the society. I always that's my own. That's my three C's of my life. Yes. I
Yep.
always like reading, so I always like looking at those things. Yeah.
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 There we
Eh,
go. That is what works for King.
yes.
Again,
Yeah.
again, you're my friend. We've been friends for years, right?
Yeah.
And
And we brought something up from from our friendship.
if you talk about them, they'll kill you. Leave them alone.
I know we brought
if you
something
met,
up about our friendship.
if you talk about them, right, they'll deal with you after this show. So just leave those people alone. Let them
Yes.
be enjoying their chocolate and their caramel sweet family lifestyle. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And what you just said, right? This is one of those things that when you talk to people, you will realize that people are different. And because people are different doesn't make them, I don't know, it doesn't need to be a fight. This is you putting it out there that you would like to have a child when you have a wife so you can grow in that house with a child and all of that. That is what is important to you, King Konge, right?
Yes.
Today you're talking to somebody who really doesn't care a lot about that. I
Yeah.
am the kind of person that will adopt a child. I'm the kind of person that will have a child, and I don't really, it's to me, it is not a must that I must have a husband at home. You get it? Because what I look for, I separate those two. So it's just those values, it's just those perspectives, it's our mentality, is the way we look at life. And this just brings us back, this just calls, brings us back to the whole idea of respecting people's opinions, respecting people's timelines. If someone is not ready for something, let them be. When they get there, they will do it. Stop asking people those invading questions of like, hey, you're married when? Oh, you're not married, you never born picking. Just leave people alone, right? People
Yeah.
have their plans. They know what they want for themselves. So to me, that is one of the biggest messages that we have. And I says, your three C's do sound great.
Yeah. Yes, I just want to appreciate guys for always being there for the siblings and for everybody around her. Yeah, I've known you guys for so long before we have to come together like a family. Yes, I think we have built a lot of relationships.
Yep.
We have had disagreement, but I think as is always like there. I've done so many things with I. Uh, then I wanted to make this remark. There is like 2 months or a month ago, I was talking with your mom on the phone. So I was just having a conversation with her, and she said, Charlie, you don't see that watching.
Uh-huh.
So, so I asked, I know why she was asking. So I asked, Ma, which thing is that? He said, that dance with the dance. You want dance also, but so I kept laughing. So, but with that said, even my mom, you know what? I'm sure
Oh
you
yeah.
remember what my mom did to me. My mom had to buy a diaper and this dress. I
And the
kept it like
onesie, the diaper
yes,
and the
yes,
onesie as your present.
as my Christmas present. So I still have it with me. So I'm very okay with that. I like that. I like people who keeps reminding me there is something I need to do, but not the timeline. I don't want
Yeah.
it. Don't tell me
Just
about my timeline.
what you
I
have
do
to
what
do.
I think is right for me. Yeah,
Yep. Great.
yeah, yeah,
That's nice. And I says that's my boy, of course.
yeah, yeah,
So you can see if Mamiche is hustling you like that, you can imagine what I go through in her hands. But again, I think I have made her understand that so babes to do it when it's the right time. And if it doesn't
yeah.
happen, it means it was never meant to happen. So
Happened. Yeah,
again, I'm preparing her mind towards things like that, which is a hard pill for her to swallow, of course.
yeah,
So again, we have looked at timeline in the perspective of marriage, of kids. Another aspect of it I wanted us to look at it is this is us, right? We are both in the States. We both left Cameroon and we are in the United States. A lot of people, like a ton, they go through a lot of competition, a
yeah,
lot of a lot of just rivalry because they say, hey, you might not stay for the country for how long? Hey, you have not done this, you don't belong to the six-figure gang, you've not bought a house, you have not, the drive fine motor. You see all those things that um we see in our community. And all of those things are just timelines. I bundle all of them and I put them underneath timeline because I know that just as Ice and I spoke some time ago about peer pressure, this is peer pressure sometimes come as a result of the timeline that people put on you. Or somebody will walk up to you and say, hey man, how long have you been in this country? What have you achieved? And you're asking yourself, if this person is, what are you measuring my achievement by? What is your measuring rod? Another
yeah,
person, someone might come and talk to you like that, and they are looking at it from the perspective that, hey, so you don't stay free country for how many years now? You still rent,
yeah,
right? Because according to that person, success means to buy a home, to buy a house, right? House, not
yeah,
home.
yeah,
Another person will come to you and say, hey, you don't do free country for how long? You still whatever. But that is that person's measuring rod. They don't know what is important to you. They don't take into consideration what you want to achieve for yourself. So they put timelines on you. What if I
yeah,
never want to own a house in America? What if, right?
yeah.
But a lot of people go through this kind of pressure. What if I just want to do, again, I remember in one of my podcast episodes, I talked about what a survival job is to one person and another.
Mm,
I keep saying that when I did CNA was a survival job to Solange.
yeah,
But there are people out there that CNA job is their dream job. You get it? So
yeah,
we can never measure ourselves on the same pedal. It is
yeah.
not possible and it is so wrong. So again, I don't know your own whole perspective of this whole coming to America, American dream, what have you achieved kind of thought.
Okay, so I measure my achievement within myself.
Hmm.
I always just like doing my things within myself. I don't like comparing with any other person, but I like copying the good examples which I see out there.
Mhm.
I left Cameroon to the United States. Um, I think I had a transition. And when I came into that transition, I had people who could put me on the right direction. The first thing about America is that if you don't have the right directive,
Yeah.
I will not say you go the wrong way. You do what those people are doing. There is somebody that will, where I don't like using those examples, but let me just use those examples. A CNA job can buy a house for somebody, and a CNA job,
Yes,
yes, will not buy a house for somebody.
for
It
another
depends.
person.
it depends how you manage yourself. There is something that is happening. Social media life is killing so many of us. Let's forget about all those things we see on social media. The reality is there. The reality is there. Even if I'm staying in my one bed house, I'm not owing anybody. I'm able to pay my rent. I'm able to feed myself. I'm able to live a comfortable life. I like that.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I'll give you an experience. Yesterday, you know about the company which all of us are trying to
Mm-hmm.
put up. Yes,
Better
yes,
focus. Mm-hmm.
yes, yes. So uh, I went out yesterday with you. We met somebody that have sold more than 10 businesses and he is planning to sell the last. He gave us an advice and told us certain things about America which we never even knew about. He was just advising on, he was not telling us to take his decision.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because he was telling us if we want to, like uh, our LPA job, he gave us an advice. I think those advice are very necessary to our society. He was not pushing us that we need to do that we have a timeline to this. No, he was a very good person and who was advice. But what I've noticed is that so like there is a lot of confusion on social media and also like a normal somebody will visit their house with they don't know what we plan in future. They don't know what we plan for do with yourself. I don't. When you say that, I don't. I give a damn. I give a damn about it. But I know what I want in life, and I know what I'm going out for. I always tell people, to be a good person does not determine. Does not come from your culture, from like your religion or your status in life. It depends on your mindset, how you
Yeah.
treat
Yeah.
people around you. Let me share like an experience which I had, I think 2 or 3 months back. I was on a TV station, so we were having like a conversation about Africa and Cameroon. So I said to on that panel that on my Facebook, I went out and said I want to train people from Cameroon, hairdressing, mechanic, uh, barber shop, as we call it in Cameroon. Like then also people with glass. I had 5 different careers because that was my where my hand could reach, what I can support the society with.
Mm-hmm.
So I put that out. No, I think just 1 or 2 people came up and
Responded.
responded. So I said that on that TV station, and I also gave an example that okay, I came later on, like a month later, and said, okay, one of my friends, which I was the person, wanted to distribute 300,000. That is 1,000 for like everybody, the first 300 people. Within an hour, right? I had over 1,500 people who sent me their name and their phone number to
And
set
their
up
mom.
1,000.
Mm-hmm.
So they are thinking just about now. They are not thinking about
Now, the
tomorrow. Yes,
future. Yeah.
yes, because the career will enable you to feed more people and to do things better for the society. So I think social media and sometimes our environment push us to take certain decisions that are not favorable to us.
Yep,
Yes.
I definitely agree. I agree with you on that. So if you go and you put those careers and people still not do not respond, I come and I put Salesforce and I put they say when people don't respond, the excuse they give me is that hey, that thing is too technical. Hey, whoa, I don't know me computer. So what are they wanting to do? What do they want to do? They just want to receive giveaways. They just want to take 1,000 francs CFO, 10,000 and walk away. So
Ye-
that is really a problem.
That is
Like
that
it's a
is
huge
that
problem.
yeah, that is a serious. But okay, just last month, um, I used Better Focus to organize a training for
Mhm.
this in Scrum,
Mhm.
because I was on a platform on TikTok. I think I don't have a very good perspective about TikTok, but I was on a platform. We were talking about IT. So I told people that I'm planning to organize a free training for Scrum. I had almost 100 persons that joined the WhatsApp group, right?
Mhm.
I think you know Carlos. Carlos was the trainer.
Mhm.
So we had that training for a month. Those who joined, we had over 100, but those like on the group, but those who were able to attend the classes was like 20,
Yeah.
and already, right, about 10 or like within 5 to 10 people are already certified right now. They're looking for their job. So what I'm just trying to say is that let us always pick those opportunities that comes to us that will help us to change our status, to change our life. Let's not leave the societal pressure to distract us of what we have in mind.
Yeah. And what you
Yeah,
want for yourself as
for
well,
yourself.
because
Yeah,
as you spoke about happiness, that happiness, I think it comes from what you want for yourself, because getting
yeah,
what you want for yourself is what definitely will trigger that happiness. Let's take a few comments. I see
yeah,
Wills the Colon says, if we have accepted this mindset of our parents and we see it as not being cool, then we need to make a difference with our own kids. Yes, definitely. I bet this comment came in when we're talking about
yeah,
the timeline, like when they put you to pressure, like, hey, the married, all of those things, which
yeah.
of course, yes, I bet that it does. And I see another comment from
From
her which says, right, respect people's priorities. Don't tell people how to spend their money. Hmm?
yeah,
There
yeah,
we go.
yeah,
It's like, King, you and I, yes, we are both in the tech world, right?
yeah,
You know that I make, let's assume that I make 150,000 a year. You make a
yeah,
hundred and maybe let's even say yes, you make 130 and I make 150. You know
yeah.
that I earn more than you. You
Yeah.
have no right to come and tell me that I need to buy a house. To you, who told you that that is important to me?
That is
You
not
get
your
it?
priority. You know
So
what
that
is
is the point Charlene is making out there.
yes, yes, that's not
And
your priority. You have your priority on how to spend your money.
yeah, that is
I
it.
can
If
have
only we
my
could
priority.
respect that.
I can have my priority to distribute my money to people, to give people, to see people happy. That is my priority.
Yeah.
Let leave people's priority to them. They know what they are looking for.
Yeah.
Yes, and they know what makes them happy.
Yep, and I
Yeah.
definitely agree with that. I like 100% agree. Give people advice, support people, but do not tell people how to. Because again, you push people. Sometimes not everybody has a strong mindset. Nobody has a, should I call it mindset, like a strong willpower? There are some people who are quite easily influenced, right?
Yeah.
Again, I would not say that I'm the most strong willed person. I believe that there are times that I've also made decisions in my life that maybe if I did not ask for a second opinion, I would not have done it. I probably would have. So we all come across these things, but we want to be sure, we want to make sure that we are working more on us, right? Work more on yourself. What is important to you? And just know that whatever timeline whoever is putting on you is that person's perspective. It's not yours. Put yourself first, is what I always say. If you think that you are not ready for something, then you are not ready. Let another person not pressure you into doing it. If you think that you're not, this is not the right time for you. If you think that, hey, you know what, in as much as I love this guy or I love this girl, I'm not ready to get married, then don't get married, right? If you think that in as much as I love to have babies, I don't think I have the mindset, I don't think I have what I need now to be able to have a child, then do not have a child. If you're out in the diaspora and yes, you have the money, but you don't think that you have the mindset to be able to buy a luxury car or to build a house or to, if you think that your mindset is not ready for that, don't do it because your friends are doing it. Don't do it because people think that, hey, you have this kind of job, you should be able to do that. No. do not do it, because the probability is that when you tend to do things like that, you don't get the satisfaction that you're looking for. The probability is high that you will miss out on what you really want to do in life. And that is where you become void of the happiness you talked about, King.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, and I'll also add that I think you are first in your life. Make your decision first before listening to advice. And also, when you advise around you, I think you shift that, and see what.
Move Kende from Fufu.
Yes, yes. Sit there and see what is good for you and what is bad for you, and take your decision for this advice that you have been given. I think some advice are very good. Wait, think twice before taking those decisions. Yes, yes. Think twice before taking those decisions. I think I have like 1,000 people around me advice. So what I do, advice. Some of the advice and sometimes I go back to it. This advice this person get me. What? How has it affected my life? So I always put those there. So I'll also share an experience uh, I also had when I was working with the University of Korea. A parent came to me because I was working with a parent. Parent came to me and said, uh, "I want me my picking in engineering, whether it's science or medical." The first question I did ask her, "Did you talk to your child before talking to me?" She said, "Yes." I said, "I would like to talk to that child, not in your presence, because my discussion with him, with your parents, will be different. But my discussion with him without you will be different." So she had to send that child to me. That child came. I asked her, Bo, how?" He said, "Fine." "Your mom told me you want to come to the faculty of engineering." I said, "What do you like to do?" He said, "Computer science." I said, "But your mom told me about engineering." So she said, "My mom is trying for me to do electrical engineering, but I like computer science." I asked him, "Do you like computer science or electrical? I mean,
Engineering.
computer engineering or electrical engineering?" He said, "Computer engineering." What I did, what I did, I told uh, him to go back to the mom. I said, "You guys should apply for the two options." I was able to help that child to get an admission in computer engineering, not electrical,
Yeah,
because that
because
was
that is
what
what he
the child.
wanted to do.
Do you know? Do you know? Last 2 weeks, I received a lengthy message from that child and said he just want to appreciate me for what I did to his life. He is now working with MTN Cameroon, and he is well situated.
That's nice.
Yes, and also that gave me another thing because I was able to help him to get what he wants, not what the mother wants.
His parents wanted, yeah.
Yes. So I was very satisfied with that when I saw the message. Yes. I'm just happy that we never took the wrong decision. Yes.
King, yes, we've
Yeah.
talked about all of these things, right?
Yeah.
Sooner or later, we'll be rounding up the show. But
Yeah.
yes, we've talked again, we've shared our perspective, what we think. And again, if you're listening to us, do not hesitate to send your thoughts in the write down your thoughts in the comment section. We'll bring it up and we can talk a little bit on it. But you just exposed something on live today, King, which is I know that you are hot cake. I use and just as a little takeaway for our whoever stumbles on this video, are you in the market?
Yes, I'm in the market. I'm single.
So
I'm
which means, are
single.
you single and searching, or are you just single like me?
Single. When you say single like you, it means that you are not searching.
You don't have to. You see, you're a typical Cameroonian. You're asking a question, answering a question with another question. Just answer the question.
I'm single and searching. Um, Also, before we conclude, I would like to say this. I know I'm going to receive a comment from Charlene.
Can
And
you
I,
leave that alone?
uh, before we get to our conclusion, this is what I would like to tell our audience society about self timelines.
Mhm.
Um, so what I was talking about self timeline, when you fall, let your timeline not make you to see it as a disappointment. Let's take it as a lesson because our true future, eh, let's look as a positive aspect. Not think say you did 5 or 65 years we never married like a setback. Yeah, right. Not not think say you don't lost your job because you know working off your right job to come. That is what I'll tell my audience or tell everybody watching to us this afternoon. Don't bother next year you'll be flying.
I says you're single and what? Then Charlie says, searching key you there. This is not a hookup show. This is-
I know they were going to come for me.
yes. It's definitely, it's amazing having you on the show today. It's just great to have another person, to have another, to get to talk to another person. And hey, I'm sure Ice wishes that she was part of this show, but girl, you know what? King took your place today.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you so much, and thank you, Dominic, for joining. I appreciate you as well. And again, if you've joined Pompous Hearts, share the show. Whatever lessons we've shared in here, we definitely would love for a wider audience to get in touch with it. And again, remember, timelines are set by ourselves. Do not let anybody other than you set a timeline for yourself. And when you set timelines, sometimes it's okay to not even meet those timelines, right? It's okay for you to say that, hey, I would love to. If timelines were going the way, if just say you made a wish, right? If wishes were horses, I definitely would have been married with 3 kids today. Because the timeline I set for myself when I became mature and became a woman was that, hey, by 25, I want to get married and I would love to have 3 or maximum 4 kids. I would have been, my daughter Haley would have had 3 or 2 followers already. But again, because that has not happened, it doesn't stop me from living my life, right? It doesn't push me to want to, it doesn't push me to settle. Let me use that word, right? So the fact that I am where I am, I don't want to call it still because to me it's not still, it is where I am supposed to be, doesn't mean that I will never get to where I wanted to be. It just might take longer. It just might be that it's not the time yet. And again, it just might be that that was never meant for me, right? So again, I just want you to have an open mind. Have your life, your timeline for yourself. I have a timeline for everything. If I don't meet it, I push it forward. I make readjustments and I go forward, right? I have a timeline for babies. I have a timeline for marriage. I have a timeline for my career. I have a timeline for almost every aspect of my life. But that timeline is made by me and respected by me. If I say, okay, like I remember during King, I think was it Christmas? Leo is not here. I don't know if it was 2021 or 20, when I said, hey, you know what? I have been too good this year. Next year, I go follow. Remember, I think we had that kind of conversation, right? And again, you just let's just live this life. There is
Yeah.
nothing more to life than us setting these timelines, just enjoying ourselves, being what we want to be, and just not letting society pressure us. Because when you live out of what society is telling you, it's like you become a slave. You don't enjoy your life, right? So
So
again, I hope that this message reaches someone, and I hope that someone, you kind of like have a rethink on the whole timeline thing and focus on you more than you focus on the society. Yes, King, closing
yeah,
remarks. You just so you two
yeah.
like talk.
So for me, I plan for tomorrow, but I like for today because I don't know tomorrow. Yeah. So and also I hope what I said today is true, it's necessary, it is kind for us and for my viewer. I know some people are here, and please try to just listen to what I said. Listen to the good part and forget the bad part, and let's move forward.
King, no, see, listen, you cannot talk to people and tell them what to, they're going to listen to everything. And based on what you've said, people have their freedom to take it how they want. And by the way, I says she has a woman for you. So you want to make
Uh,
sure you call her after this show and you could talk about that woman.
yeah, I will not respond to her here. I'll respond to her when I'm fighting her. Whatever. It was nice. I was uh, grateful that you were able to fight me on your show. And I promise your audience that I will be coming back in a business perspective to talk
Mm,
about our business, talk
okay.
about how I would like to support our community. And I would like to use your platform for this business. I know me and you can do that by putting smile on people's faces back home.
Hey, King, are you promising a Christmas giveaway?
Well, I don't know. I like giving to.
You know
Uh,
your people. If you just dare promise a Christmas giveaway, the week we have that, we are going to have like 1K people watching. You know our
yeah,
people. You
yeah,
know where we come from. If it's
yeah,
giveaway, they are there. If it's
yeah,
professional advice and
yeah.
career tips and stuff, they
No,
shy away.
we need to use that show for career advice and give away so that
Okay.
yes, our giveaway can be the professional advice, but it will be something for them to put a smile on their faces during
Faces.
this festive period. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you
So
so much.
I
Nina
I really
Pechu. Oh, I know that name. Thank you for joining, my dear. I know.
go.
Pechu Nina. That's one of the petite in Sac. I just saw her
Uh,
name and I know that
okay.
name.
Yeah. So I think I've had a good time with you today. I like I know how to talk when I'm around you people, but when I'm out of my comfort zone, I don't talk.
Okay. I appreciate you so much for coming, and it was
Yes.
such an amazing time talking to you. Next
Okay.
week, we're going to see you back live here at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Central Time, and 8 p.m. West African Time. Hopefully, we'll be able to have Ice, and Ice says I should stop talking because the show is done. So we
Yeah.
appreciate you, and we'll see you next week. Be safe, and as you prepare for the holiday season for Christmas, we wish you all the best. And as you round off the year 2022,
Yeah.
thanks again, and we'll see you next week. Bye
Bye.
bye, and be good to each other. Ciao.